Hey, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about something that was real for me today. And let's talk about it. Let's jump right into it because often we find ourselves at a crossroad where what we want to do doesn't really line up with what we're actually doing or what we want to do every single day. So today, what we're going to talk about is exploring the gap on how to close it and why it's important for personal growth. My name is Latasha Martin, and I am living the dream, and I'm also enjoying the ride because I understand my mission is to help other people transition. And what are they transitioning to? I'm helping them to ignite their great. But what I recognize in this process and in this journey and why I'm so excited about today is because I understand that often when we think about what we're actually doing and we're thinking about our aligning our actions with what we're calling our destiny, and we're trying to break free from old habits, that can be a challenge. And it's a challenge because we aren't really clear on the first part of this process, which is understanding your destiny, and then what are the actions that you should be taking? What are the habits that you should be making that are great? And so if we had to define our destiny, let's start by understanding, well, what is the meaning or the term or the definition of destiny? And it is when the path or purpose that we feel innately drawn to, but something that gives our lives a direction or meaning. And then when we think about actions and habits, our actions, however, are often guided by our action patterns. We develop them over time, so we can't break them instantly. And so sometimes these habits can hold you back from your true call or potential because you'll say stuff to yourself, maybe not out loud, but in your mind and in your heart, you have an idea of a destiny, but maybe you don't even truly believe it. I was having a conversation with some amazing women yesterday, and I said, one of the things I'm trying to get better with is even if something doesn't make sense, but I want it, then I'm just going to say that. Say that's what the thing is. Like, I want it and I want it. And one of the things that I will be a blocker to that when it comes to defining destiny and my actions and my habits is I go through these exercises mentally because I'm thinking about what's socially acceptable for the environments that I reside in. And so when you think about being great, it is important that you not only understand your destiny and your actions, but then the next thing you want to do is you want to understand the role in your heart space and its challenges. There's a scripture that says, from the heart, the mouth speaks. And so sometimes we have things in our heart, but it doesn't necessarily align with our destiny. And so our heart is representing our emotions and our comfort zone, but sometimes it lags behind because it clings to what's familiar and making the challenge for breaking old habits seem sometimes impossible. And so I'll give you an example. Like this morning, every day I'm trying to get to the mall by 6:30. But I want to tell you, last night I was up late. I was up late knitting. Ain't no reason. I couldn't fall asleep. My body was tired, but I couldn't slow down my mind to go to sleep. So I didn't get into bed until 2:30 in the morning. So my body now is on autopilot to wake up. So even though it didn't seem like enough time for sleep, I woke up at 6:30. But then I was thinking about one of my good friends. I actually call him a friend, and their tagline, their mission for their organization, and I do believe it's a life philosophy too, is no excuses, just results. And that's what they say all the time. They run a whole organization based on that. And so when I was thinking about that this morning, I actually recorded myself when I pulled myself together, threw some clothes on, brushed my teeth, washed my face, and I was on my way to the mall. And I was like, I do not want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyways. My body was exhausted. My mind was exhausted. Everything in the natural way. If I would have called anybody that I know, I could have had a pass on, I'll do it later. And that's a trick of the enemy right there. I'll do it later because later never happens. So I pulled myself together. I drove myself to the mall and I was so tired. I walked in there and I was dragging, walking in. I did my stretches And then I started to walk. And this is the thing that I learned is that sometimes we have to do things even when we don't want to do things because it will move us closer to where we're going. Because what I was thinking about this morning is ever since I've been on this quest to walk and move my body every day for at least 30 minutes, what I've noticed is that when I was walking intermittently, I would have like pains in my body, like my knees would hurt a little bit, or my back would hurt a little bit, or if I was sitting too long, I couldn't do anything continually. And what I'm learning now is that if I keep moving, my body doesn't hurt because our bodies are designed to move. So even though my heart space didn't want to go, my mind logically said, my destiny is to be great. Part of being great is going to be speaking on some big stages. Part of being great is facilitating sessions that could go anywhere from 30 minutes to maybe 8 hours long. And so I need to be able to move so that at the end of that day, I still have strength to do the things that are important that God has called me to. So what is a personal antidote when you think about my heart is representing my emotion and comfort zone, but then my destiny isn't like necessarily aligning? Well, here's the thing. I'm learning now that when I say to myself, I have accountability all around me that is trying to help me be great, what I'm learning is that sometimes even to get that accountability, to have that alignment, you have to look for resources that maybe you didn't feel comfortable with in the past. And so this morning, I knew if I got to that mall at a certain time, Merle would be there. Like I knew that. And Merle don't know he's my accountability person, y'all. He don't know that, but he is, because I knew like I have to be there, because if I wasn't there today, then tomorrow I would have been asked the question, hey, Latasha, why were you not there? Even as I'm talking to you right now, what I think I'm going to do is with a few of the people who walk in the mall, I'm going to let them know, hey, my goal is to walk every single day in December. So if you don't see me, call me on my stuff. That's uncomfortable. Why? Because A, half the people don't know me by name. So that would be a weird request. But what I know about human nature is people want to help you win. They want to help you win, probably sometimes more than what you see, because they see stuff in you. And for me, that's part 3 of this process. And that's a strategy for this alignment. And it is a mindset shift. And when we think about the first step to a mindset shift, we need to see our habits as what they are. They're mere behaviors that we have the power to change. Why? Because especially if we are saying that we are believers, although God gives us the ability to choose, if we are declaring and decreeing things from the word of God, which make us excellence, then we have to show up as peculiar creatures. We can't do what everybody else do. We can't do what everybody else does, even if we get mad because it seems like they're getting results that we desire. Let me say that again. We can't do what everybody else does if we're declaring things connected to our faith, if we're trying to glorify God, because why? If we do it that way, then what we will realize is that I'm not even trying to operate in my great, because my mindset is still stuck on things that I can obtain on my own. And so there is a danger in that. And so what is a practical tip when you think about that mindset shift? You want to have something that's small. This morning I was thinking about like even the way I go through life. If you remember a couple of days ago, it might have been yesterday, I was volunteering. This is exactly what happened. Let me tell you exactly how it happened. The Lord said to me, call a particular friend, and it said, ask them what you can do to help them. And they shyly said, you don't want me to tell you what I need. I said, well, honestly, this conversation ain't even about you. It's really about me being obedient. And the Lord, I laughed when I said, the Lord told me, ask you, what do you need? And so then she told me what she needed. It was a landing page on her website. And I was like, oh, no problem. I can do that. But here's the thing. What I know from in the past is whenever I am going and offering support and I don't have a conversation with God to say to him, anoint my hands, bring my mind to what I need to do to make it happen, I revert and Tasha can do it. Techie Tasha, that's what they call me, Techie Tasha. Techie Tasha could do it. And when I tried to do it on my own device, not only did I mess it up, like the whole website crashed, y'all. I mean, I was in a state of panic. I was calling people. I called one particular person and they responded. And when they responded, I was excited about them responding everything. But then we were able to get the website up. But in my flesh, y'all, if I could be honest, my flesh said, we gonna do this thing, this landing page in a different system. When I went to the next system yesterday to do it, I realized there were constraints that wouldn't allow me to do what they asked me to do. And this is what I know. If God has gifted me to solve problems as I help people transition to be great, then if I'm following I'm being obedient to what he said, he can't fail. Let me say that to somebody. If you're really being obedient to what God is telling you to do, specifically what he's telling you to do, and then someone makes a request of you, then you can't go by your own strength. You have to shift your mindset and say, really, if God is saying I could do it, I'm more than a conqueror, not because I need to be successful, but because he needs to be glorified. That's a mindset shift. But often we say it, but we don't really behave like we believe. It goes back to those, our destiny and our heart space aren't aligned because we do it by our own strength. But then I was reminded yesterday and I said, you know what? We gonna go into this situation differently. So because I trusted God, not Latasha, I said, I'm gonna go back into that website because I had declared to her, I ain't touching that website. And I ain't going back there because I know what happened yesterday. And God said, no, you're gonna do it this way. And you're not gonna try to do it your way. You're gonna trust me to show you how the way is to go. And I said, okay, God, if you're going to do it, then come on, let's go. Let's go. And whenever I had these conversations with God, because I talked to him just like that, I'm like, come on, God, let's go. Let's do this. Not only was I able to do the website worked, and it happened in such a compressed period of time. So why am I saying that to you today? I'm saying it to you because some of you have something in you to be great. I believe everybody does. And if you already think that you're great on your own perils, I want to encourage you today to get around some people that challenge how you define great. And then when they challenge how you define great, then what you want to do is you want to say to yourself, okay, now, as we talked about before with that whole journey, you can go back to that journey or you can do what I'm saying today. When your heart space is not matching your destiny, you can define that destiny. You can look at your heart versus your destiny, and then you can have that mindset shift. And this is what I want to tell you. When you do it that way, I want to encourage you to know that you are going to align your actions with your destiny. It's not going to be easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. Why do I say that? Because this morning I didn't want to walk, but because I did, I got energy now. You wouldn't have known I only had a couple of hours of sleep because I listened to what I'm saying is my actions and my habits aligned to my destiny. And then what I also realized is that even when I think back to the website, even when I think back to some of the financial goals I had declared and decreed for December, I am so excited that I'm so close to that destination, and we're not even 10 days in, y'all. We're not even 10 days in. And I'm just saying hallelujah, because how he's doing it has nothing to do with Latasha. Why? Because I'm focusing on the mission of helping people be great. I am living the dream and enjoying the ride. So I'm not intentionally doing anything outside of the will for his calling for me, which is helping people transition. So I'm going to say it right now because not right now seems like the logical time to say it. If you want to sign up for one of these Ignite Your Great Discovery sessions, I want to encourage you to go right there on the page where it says Latasha115959.com/connect and go ahead and sign up for one of these 30-minute sessions. And it is a pay what you want. So if you don't want to pay anything, you don't need to. You could just go ahead and sign up for that session, but make sure you do the preparation and do the entire form that you need to do, because if you don't do that form, it's difficult for me to prepare for our meeting. And then what's going to happen is you could say, oh, she didn't help me at all, but that ain't it. That's not it. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. So the opportunity is you getting the time, and preparation is you filling out that form like you need to. And if you're saying to yourself, I can't remember that, inside of the comments right now is the link. So you can click on that link. It'll take you to my page. It'll be an orange button, and click on that button and schedule that 30 minutes with me while you can, because until December 31st, it's available to you. On January 1, that's probably going to change. Actually, I know it's going to change. It is going to change. change. It will be pay what you want, but there'll be a minimum entry fee. But right now, I'm just being obedient to God. Now, I'm saying that today, but y'all know I'm living by what God says to me. So I'm saying it today. He might change it tomorrow. So my closing remarks for today is this. I want to thank you so much for joining me today and remembering that every step you take towards your destiny, no matter how small it may seem to others, it is a victory and you should celebrate that. So keep moving forward and don't hesitate to reach out for support. I've shared the ways that you can connect with me. And if you don't want to do any of that, you could just send me a DM and encourage me as I can encourage you back. So God bless and have an amazing day. I'll see you again tomorrow. God bless. Bye-bye.